my messenger was going off on the PC. And it was like one of those horror things where you can see something happening, but you can't actually interact with it or stop it. I looked and I see this chat going on, talking to one person, talking to another person. G'day! Today's video is a rather sad tale of when my Facebook account got hacked. This happened on a Wednesday at around 8:20 in the morning, or at least that's when I found out that I was hacked. In this video I won't really be going too far in depth in the recovery methods that I used to be able to get that account back. I just want to pretty much document what I tried, what happened, and how I eventually got my account back. Granted, I won't go into detail, so if you're after some form of recovery video, this one's not really going to be it. Hopefully it might give you some ideas, but this is just my personal experience. So, hopped on the computer at 8:20, and I looked at my phone at 8:20 in the morning on a Wednesday. I was currently going to be off work with a sick kid that day, which I was, and he still got the care he needed. Granted, I had a lot more frustration personally, mainly due to Facebook than anything else. But loaded up my phone, and it asked me to sign in. Instantly I thought, something's not right here. Why is it asking me to sign in when I was using it only about 15-20 minutes earlier that day at around 8 o'clock? Then I've gone to sign in on my messenger, also on my phone. It kicked me out, asked me to sign in again, password not accepted. I'm pretty sure I know what the password is for this, as I changed it probably about 12 months back. Password didn't work. What's the next thing I'm going to try? Pulled out my personal laptop, which has also got Facebook to auto sign in, and it asked for a password also. From there, my wife's walked in and she's just gone, "Oh, you just messaged me. How are you?" I'm like, "Why would I message you when I'm in the same house?" She goes, "Oh, you said that about 5 minutes ago when I was at the other end of the house. I thought it was odd." I'm like, "Yeah, it's very odd. Right now I can't get into Facebook and I'm messaging you. This is not a good sign." From there I managed to quickly just go reset password, and my email address was still linked, and I clicked on the link, typed in the new password, got back in. I got back in on the laptop. I thought there's no point doing it on my phone. Phone will take longer to achieve what I wanted to do. So I'd done it on the laptop, created a new password, signed in, gone to settings, gone to account, and from there I could see that my personal email address had 5 random emails linked to it, or my Facebook account had 5 random emails there, 6 in total if you count my personal one. And the mobile phone number had since changed to a phone number which was not mine. I then from there noticed that while I was actually on the account still trying to change settings, my messenger was going off on the PC. And it was like one of those horror things where you can see something happening, but you can't actually interact with it or stop it. I looked and I see this chat going on, talking to one person, talking to another person. What the hell is going on? There's no spot to click, type a reply in. It's just constantly scrolling with replies coming back from someone which is not me. And from there I knew that I'd been scammed. I'd been conned. My account had been compromised / is compromised. I battled with it till about 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:30. Still no luck, still haven't got it back. And then I got a kicker of a message saying 2-factor has been enabled. Not at my end, at his. And from there I thought, crap, this isn't looking good. So, stopped for a bit, reflected upon what's happening. My biggest concern at that point in time was him sending out messages that aren't from me. Using my personality, my friends group, my family, to scam even further, which is definitely not what I wanted. How did this originate? Originally, I was contacted last week by an old friend. Great story, should have known better. And got a message saying, "Hey, I'm trying to get back my account. I need a close friend group to be able to get back in. Can you send me the code?" Thought not much of it. Thought it was odd that he was contacting me as we haven't talked in a few years. Thought, okay, this particular fellow had a few disabilities, so I thought, okay, maybe he's just, one person he fought to from school, I'll send him a message. Yeah, no, turns out the code that I received was my reset code, and I'd handed it back to the scammer with a compromised friend account. So, yeah, good job me. But from there, he was able to pry enough in to add his details to take over my account to then be able to boot my email out, boot my phone number off, turn on two-factor on his end, and from there you think that's endgame, my account is gone. Facebook was absolutely useless, Meta was absolutely useless, and from there I was able to go to the Meta accounts page, which I don't actually recall making, but it was still active. And this was my hope, this was my bastion, this was my chance to get back in. Currently at this point in time, at 9 o'clock Australian time, it was currently about, I think it was about 3 to 4 a.m. Nigerian time. So I knew this dude was a nighttime scammer purely by that time difference. He's probably started at 9 o'clock that night and he's going to push on through till 5 in the morning. So I'm going to wait. What's an easier way to get past a scammer and fight back when he's asleep and cannot fight you? So at about 10, 11 o'clock, I knew my plan of attack. I was going to use the the Meta accounts page to then be able to push back. And pushing back is what I did. When it hit about 4:30 a.m. Nigerian time, that's when I made my push. I noticed on the Meta accounts page, from there I could, even though all my identity was stripped away on the Facebook page, the Meta page still had all my details. It still had my Facebook page. It could show me what was signed in. It knew that I was part of that account. It knew we were connected. So from there, I was able to go into authorized devices and unauthorize his iPhone XR, which he had, and he had 2 of them. So I was able to boot them out of there, and then I was able to go to, I could not change a password, and I could not turn on two-factor. But then I went to facebook.com/identity, and I was able to re-add my email to my personal account. So I reckon I'd done this probably 5 or 6 times in the day and a half of and after that I was getting scammed, where it would ask me to send a an ID. So I was able to go to facebook.com/identity, type in my full name, scan my ID or take a photo with the webcam, and from there that was automatically re-adding my actual original email address to my account once more. That gave me the entrance to be able to get in. From there, it also asked me to enable two-factor. Shit, yes, that's what I did. So I went there, enable two-factor, it asked me to download Google Authorization, or Google Auth, whatever you want to call it, and which I already had on my phone. From there I was able to scan the code, add that on, and bam, I had two-factor on. I didn't have a password. It knew my email, but it was very broken. And if I had typed in my email address and go reset password on a new computer or web browser, it didn't come up with my Facebook page, my Facebook profile picture. But if I did it on a device that I've already signed in, it would come up. So I was able to go on my phone, type it in, and it basically popped up and said, your account has been compromised, how do you want to proceed? And it gave me the option to lock it down. So yep, click that. And basically I was stuck in a period of limbo where, weirdly enough, after I got that email saying my account had been compromised, set it back up, I was able to go to m.facebook.com on my mobile phone browser, and it actually signed me in. It didn't give me a password. So now I was stuck, or couldn't give me the way to reset password or add my number back. Once I enabled two-factor, I was able to strip out his email addresses out of the account and his phone number from being linked to my account. Since I had two-factor, he had the password, we were at a stalemate. He couldn't get in, I couldn't get in. I was happy with that sinking ship. I came to the conclusion that I would rather tank my stuff and then let a thief steal it. Or at least that's what I've learnt from this whole experience. I would rather completely bomb my account than know that someone's going to use it for mischievous uses or illegal uses. I'm not going to be a pawn to be conned. I'd rather tank that whole ship than let him get away with it. And basically we were stuck at this stalemate for a couple of days. And from there, I signed back in on I tried to get the work computer going again. Every time I told it it would acknowledge that my profile existed, but I couldn't sign in. And if I told it to reset the password, it would just constantly send the same code over and over. So I assumed I had to wait 12 hours, 24 hours for Meta to figure their stuff out, which there was no one to contact, so they were absolutely useless. And then from there, the next day, on the Thursday, I was able to get a little bit further. I was able to get into it and actually access my Facebook, but it wouldn't actually give me a password or a way to reset. If I clicked on reset password, or if I went to Facebook, settings, it would link me back to Meta accounts, which I've already got access to, it would go there, and then it would ask me what's the current password to reset my password, which I did not know. Nor was it allowing me to add a phone number to send it via SMS. So I was stuck at a very odd stalemate still. But on the Friday, I got in, turned on the work computer, I received an email saying your account has been compromised, click here to secure. I clicked on that. From there, it enabled me to re-add a phone number, which I did. And then from there, I was able to actually get a proper reset. Or I didn't get an email to reset my Facebook, but it did set it. When I went back on the site and followed the link that they'd sent me on the Friday, it actually just popped up and said, enter a password. Entered it twice, it was happy with it, hit enter, my password was saved. So then on the Friday morning, I had my account back, my email added, his emails removed, his phone number removed, my phone number added, two-factor enabled, and sign-in notifications enabled via in-app and also via email. So by then, I was happy that I had it all back. Yes, I've got my account back, but what do I do now? How do I let the people know that my account has been compromised? During the couple of times I got in, I was actually able to put up a Facebook post saying my account has been compromised. Do not talk to me. Do not do anything with me. This account is compromised. Don't communicate. And that was when I managed to get in without a password and no reset details enabled. Next up from there, how did I proceed once I got my account back? When I got my account back, from there I just basically typed up a full thing saying my account was compromised on this date. I believe it happened via this. If you've communicated with me at all during that time and you've been requested a code of any variety and you've given the code, please go here, reset your password, enable two-factor authentication. You do not need to reply to this. So I sent that off, and basically he had contacted probably around about 30 to 40 people in that time, most of which were very scammy language, which sadly a few people might have actually expected was from me, being how poor the grammar was. But anyway, I digress. I spammed that out to everyone anyone that had been contacted, even people that hadn't replied. I just sent it to everybody. I thought, get it out there, let it know, this account being compromised, whatever, deal with the consequences. So far, I'm yet to hear of anyone that's had their account compromised. I did have one person added, I believe his name was Edward Mole, which then after the fact I had sent or just done a report on his account to Facebook, and they said, no, this account is perfectly fine. I'm thinking, well, yeah, no, he's not. He's been added to me after I was hacked or compromised. And then he also had blocked around about 8 to 10 people, all of which, of those 8 to 10 people, one was my wife, one was a good mate, another person that just told him to F off and whatnot. So I had to go through my block list and unblock them. Weirdly enough, once I got back into the account, the actual Facebook tools that showed my account had been compromised from this date to this date, it showed me every post that was made, every friend request, every block, everything. Which was actually kind of cool, because you could just go through and see, okay, he's only contacted these people, he's removed these people, he's made no posts on my profile at all. He was purely used in the messenger aspect of it, and anyone that had any pushback to him, he just blocked. So from there, I've got my account back, I've got it locked down. Funnily enough, in the meta page, on the meta accounts page, on the Facebook page, when I could just get him, just as he compromised my account, it wouldn't show me the email addresses. The meta accounts page did. And from there I found that he used a Japanese hosted site which gave you randomly generated email addresses. So yeah, I believe that's quite a big loophole that Meta should be sealing up, where he could just simply go to that page, click generate account, bam, he's got an email address that's currently active. Sadly enough, I couldn't re-compromise his accounts because he got it paired to an account. So his email addresses that he randomly generated are tied to his account of some variety. But I'm going to send him a few messages from a randomly generated email address, giving him some bit of SHIT, and see what he has to say. I don't see there's really much point utilising one of my personal accounts, as that may give him another attack vector. But at this point in time, if I use another randomly generated account and give him a whole flurry of words, I'll see if I get a reply. If I do, I might post that. But for now, I've got my account back. It's fully secured, or at least as secured as some form of social engineering scam may be able to get back in again. But for now, I'm happy. So far, I'm pretty happy. It hasn't compromised anyone. The word got out there, and I've got it back. So yeah, stuff you, Nigerian scammer. See yous.